Which brings me to my next thing. It's our fighter spotlight of the week, baby. And that's right. You know I had to do it. You know I had to do it. Let's get ready. Oh, I don't have the glasses. Fuck. Luke, I blame you. Luke, main card minute, I blame you. I don't have these glasses. But Jean Lord Silva is my fighter spotlight of the week. Jean Lord Silva. Fighting nerds. Fighting nerds, people. Put some respect on their mother effing names. You heard? All right? Fighting nerds. Jean Silva's been training there since 2016. Okay? Damn near decade of fighting nerds greatness coursing through his veins out of Sao Paolo, Brazil. Okay? His wife is a giant part of his support system. His wife, Carol, she helped him find martial arts, helped him get into Muay Thai. Not only that, she controls his ego when he lets it out, when he's not supposed to be. So as a fighter, you see him barking, you see him doing all this bravado. That's Lord. That's Lord Assassin. That's his alter ego. That's who he brings out when he fights. And his wife is who reigns that beast. Okay? She helps control his alter ego when it appears outside of his fighter career. You might have noticed him barking throughout the fight week. You might have noticed him after his win, barking and holding onto the cage like a demon. Yeah. Basically, that person, Lord Assassin, Lord, it manifests itself every time he steps into the octagon for prolonged periods of time. So definitely one of those fighters, interesting to watch. He has an alter ego. He's got two sides to him, kind of like a Two-Face, you know, kind of like who's a good example of that? I don't have a good example right now. But he's 28 years old, born December 13th, 1996. He's a 5'7" featherweight with a 69-inch reach. Usually fights orthodox, but switch stances to throw off his opponent. He's 16-2 with 12 KOs, 3 submissions. Now, he's a staple of the Fighting Nerds gym. You may have noticed him among the others like Caio Barallo, however you want to say it, Mauricio Ruffy, Carlos Paraches. Fighting Nerds, baby. Bruna Brazil, now Michael Oleksiejczyk, Mayra Bueno Silva. The team's growing. The gym's growing. People are catching on to the greatness of the Fighting Nerds gym, flocking there even, trying to add things to their game because they notice how great these fighters are doing in the UFC. We've seen this time and time again with teams, aka Extreme Couture, American Top Team, City Kickboxing, New England Cartel, Goat Shed, and now Fighting Nerds. Okay? He aims to make a run at the top of the featherweight division and possibly in the future lightweight as well. He does have a win over former lightweight contender Drew Dober. Now, he made his professional debut January 13th of 2024, a month after his birthday, facing Weston Wilson at UFC 234. But before that, he started his career in 2016. He had a record of 10 wins, 8 by knockout, 2 by sub, finished everybody. And he only lost 2 fights, both being by decision. Basically, stalled his offense. And those were the last fights he lost coming into the UFC. I mean, let's just take a look at his record. He beat Lorenzo Rodriguez at Aspera FC 48 by KO in the first round. Anderson Hennon Krause by TKO at Aspera FC 50, March 18th of 2017 in the second round. This was in San Jose, Brazil. Then he lost to Pedro Henrique by split decision at Aspera FC 52. Leaves the promotion, goes to Blackout FC 5, knocks out Lucas Vinicius Rakaukiewicz. That's December 16th of 2017. He then loses to Gabriel Schlup de Lima by unanimous decision at Sao Jose Super Fight qualifying, April 18th of 2018. That would mark the last loss of his career. That was also his featherweight debut. It should be noticed that his second fight against Anderson Hennon Krause, that was a bantamweight fight. So Silva's fought at bantamweight, featherweight, and lightweight. I don't foresee him ever going back down to bantamweight, but I could see him fighting at lightweight in the future. Now, after this fight, he goes on to fight Muniz Martins dos Santos. He knocks him out at MF Fighters 1, November 10th, 2018, in the very first round, which starts his run of first-round knockouts. Now, these are all first-round knockouts or first-round submissions that I'm about to read to you. You ready? Antonio Henrique Santos de Miranda at MTK MMA Brazil 1, April 27, 2019. Submission, guillotine choke, round 1. Tamray Lacerda, KO, flying knee, March 8th, 2020. Round 1, 4 minutes and 28 seconds. Adriano Souza at Road to Future 1, June 27, 2021. Round 1, KO by punch. Thiago Souza, submission, guillotine choke, RFA Fight 1, August 8th, 2021. 50 seconds of round 1. Valdemir Cardoso, KO punch at Spartacus Fight Event 28, February 4th, 2023. Round 1. And Shaheen Najafi retired him, TKO, Spartacus Fight Event 34, March 25th, 2023. Round 1. And that was his lightweight debut. And then the aforementioned fight against Kevin Vallejos, in which he won by unanimous decision at Dana White's Contender Series 61, September 5th of 2023. That was his return to featherweight, and he wins that fight. Goes on to fight Weston Wilson, TKOs him, UFC Fight Night Ankle Eye versus Walker 2, January 13th of 2024, round 1. It's a theme of Jeansilva's career, isn't it? Round 1 KOs, round 1 finishes. Then in June 29th of 2024, he takes on Charles Jourdain. But before we notice that, he was scheduled to face William Gomes May 4th, 2024 at UFC 301. The fight was canceled because Gomes suffered a weight loss related illness. So he then takes on Charles Jourdain June 29th, 2024 at UFC 303. He misses weight, weighs in at 147.5 pounds. They proceeded to catch weight. Silva fined 20%, which goes directly to Jourdain in a win or loss. But Silva wins the fight via knockout in the second round. Now, a lot of people make note of Silva's takedown defense in this fight and try to say that that was the reason Brycemitchell was going to win this fight. Well, we'll get to that later. Silva fights 2 weeks later against Drew Dober on July 13th of 2024 at UFC on ESPN 59 in a lightweight bout. He steps in on short notice. He beats Dober because Dober can't continue after a cut over his eye. This earned him a Fight of the Night bonus, and this marked his UFC win at lightweight. He then takes on Melsik Bagsadarian at UFC Fight Night 252, February 22nd of 2025, and wins the fight via TKO in the first round and gets another Performance of the Night bonus. And fast forward to this past Saturday, where he takes on Brycemitchell at UFC 314, Volkanovski versus Lopez. and he submits Bryce Mitchell with a ninja choke in round 2. April 12th, 2025 in Miami, Florida, as a minus 170 favorite. And the Brazilian gets the job done against the American. Jean Silva, the fighting nerd, gets another performance of the night win. Chokes out Bryce Mitchell, gets the tap, but holds it just long enough that Bryce Mitchell still goes out. Stands over Bryce Mitchell and barks over and over and over again until Bryce Mitchell wakes up. The first thing Bryce Mitchell saw when he woke up from his brief nap was a demonized Jean Silva standing over him barking. You couldn't write that any fucking better. The man saw God and woke up to a demon. Jean Silva is my fighter spotlight of the week. Shout out to Jean Silva, man. Wow. Can't wait to see what he gets next.